Let's get started. This is our recruiting presentation. We're going to go through tons of stuff, okay? But just starting us off, we look for good students, good athletes, good people. We think all you guys in the room are those kind of people. And the good students and the good athletes, everything. All right, so what are these pictures here? The picture, that one there, NCAA championship. We just won the gold, so to speak. We won the championship. Emily, our left back, really has some great hang time there. See that picture? She's like way up off the ground. That's Allie Robb, three-time All-American for us. Scored the winning goal on a stroke to help us win the championship. There we have Marissa kissing the trophy, which we have out here with the PSAC, with the hat that we got, with a ball that we got. The players were quite spoiled, but deservedly so. They got 2 T-shirts, NCAA jacket. We're getting rings. I'll show you pictures of the rings when you come in for your individual meeting. They got watches. They got small trophies. I meant to bring that in, but I forgot the replica trophy. Baseball hats, winter hats. You guys were at practice when we got invited to the NCAA Division I men's basketball semi-game at Barclays in Brooklyn. So hard work, championship, you get a lot of great things with that. So we're excited about all that stuff. That picture down there is our starting goalie, hugging Allie. That was after the PSAC championship. Pretty emotional for her. And then that one they dumped some water on me, and that was pretty awesome though. I had a waterproof jacket on, and I was a little warm after that, so that was perfect that they dumped that on me. Okay, so coaching staff. Sandy, y'all know that. I've been here 32 years, going strong, love what I do. I think we're one of the few or only coaching staff that has 3 staff members that are all level 2 certified coaches. Level 1 is your basic certification, then there's level 2, then level 3 are all your international coaches. So, we're all level 2 coaches full-time. Katie's our full-time assistant, has been here 4 years, also level 2. Katie deals a little bit more with defense, keys on defense a little bit more. Robert keys a little bit more on offense. I key on everything, oversee everything, make suggestions all over the place. But we are fortunate to have, even though Robert's not full-time, he's a volunteer coach, he's almost like having another full-time coach, and he's awesome. Just loves the game, does a little bit more with our technical stuff, a little bit more with our press and things. Played in Holland, and just a great, great guy. Dr. Miltenberger, some of you guys saw him yesterday. He was at a meeting and came like at the end. But he does all our strength training, our conditioning. You'll see him out there. Sammy works a lot with him. He's wonderful. We kind of have that Division I mentality now a little bit in certain ways where our strength trainers, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, do all of our conditioning with us. We've talked to them about the sport of hockey. They know the sport of hockey. That you're down doing a tackle here, you're reverse-handed here, you're reaching here for it. So most of our drills that they're doing, conditioning, you'll see a lot of that stuff. A lot of explosive, jumping kind of stuff, things like that. So it's related to hockey. Are you guys all staying for that stuff today? Okay, great. So you'll see some good things. So a lot of you guys have seen our lifting or a practice of ours, and then you'll see the conditioning, which is what we're doing right now. We were the coaching staff of the year, which was pretty awesome. So there we are with the PSAC gold, and then better yet, the NCAA gold. Okay, so where are our students from, and what are their majors? We got a lot of them from Pennsylvania, a lot from New Jersey. We are less than 10 minutes from the New Jersey border. And now with the reduced tuition and things, I think our out-of-state enrollment's going to skyrocket. One player from Zimbabwe. Right now we're talking to a young lady from Mexico, a young lady from Holland for the 2016 class still. We're pretty much wrapped up, but these are 2 outstanding ladies, players, so we're still working on that. And another one in your class, we just got a pretty good video from a young lady from Argentina. So we don't want to bring in too many internationals, but we'd like to have a couple on the team for sure. Our majors, you can see that they're kind of in order of, who's in the major a little bit more. Exercise science seems to be a top major for us. Great major for us. Great, all our majors are awesome, but that one seems to be a little bit more you know, the enrollment is increasing in exercise science. A lot of our young ladies have come in and gone biology, but now they've transferred over to exercise science, so to speak, because they're occupational therapy, pre-physical therapy, and they want to go through the exercise science route instead of the biology route. All right, but you can see we have some biology majors, 2 in the marine science, 1 pre-med. The other one's a general biology major. Early childhood, that's always, you know, we're based in our education, in our roots, so a lot of our players are still education majors. We do have a health and PE major over on the right. Athletic training's a great major for sport management, speech, nursing. You know, a lot of schools, if you want to play hockey, they don't allow you to be a nursing major. So make sure when you're looking at that stuff, you know, you talk to the coach, does she allow you to do that? To me, you're a student first and the athlete second. So if you want to be a nursing major, we need to do our best to help you do that. And, you know, we have Ashley Chayota and Paige Harold that are nursing majors right now for us. 1 math major. I don't know this was happening yesterday, or the last time I was in here too, Katie. A PE major, hotel restaurant management, communications, public health. What are some other majors we have here? Computer science, we're very strong there.
That's good.
Hotel restaurant management, we do have one of those. Speech pathology, okay, and that is there. We have a couple speech pathology majors. Some majors that we have that a lot of schools don't have. Okay, Katie's going to talk more on the education, but you know, that's obviously the picture after the NCAA championship. Okay, so who do we play in the PSAC? This is kind of where they are in the state. Mercyhurst, that's about a 5.5-hour ride out to Mercyhurst. We haven't gone there the last couple of years, but this coming year, we're out to Mercyhurst again. A lot of times when we go out to Mercyhurst, we'll get out on the out on Lake Erie. There's an ice cream place. We'll stop out there and have a nice time. But Mercyhurst, we play Slippery Rock, and you see Seton Hill, IUP, Shippensburg, Mansfield. We've got Bloom, Kutztown, Millersville, Westchester, and of course the star is East Stroudsburg. PSAC hockey is unbelievable hockey, very, very strong hockey. You're in a dogfight every single game. So we've got to be prepared, ready to go. We play all the, there are 10 other teams other than us, would make 11. We play everyone once, and then there are 4 teams we play early in the season twice. Those games count, but they don't count against the PSAC schedule, but they'll count in rankings and all that stuff. Okay? Very competitive. We found out a couple years ago that we had the toughest schedule in D2. So we tried to ease back our schedule a little bit and dropped Merrimack and picked up Adelphi. And then as soon as that happened, Merrimack kind of fell out of the rankings for a year or 2, and Adelphi came in. So, but we love playing good hockey. Stonehill made it to the Final Four. We played them first game of the season this year, beat them 5-1. Adelphi made it to the top 3 in the north, or they call it the East region now. We beat them 4-1, second game of the season. So the Atlantic region, which is our region, is much stronger than the East region. Dowling, we played them and have beaten them. And then Post, they've been in the national tournament quite a bit. And we've had a lot of overtime games and things like that. This year we went to play Post. We were down 0-2. We weren't quite ready. But we battled back and ended up beating them 3-2, which was awesome. You know how good it feels to come back from because they were a solid team. On our highlight video, you'll see some great goals that we had against Post. But we scored phenomenal goals this year. Okay, so some different things. We do a lot of different things. We have our team room. But we had a poster of a young lady with a face kind of like that. And then we got that picture from Marissa, or not from Marissa, but someone took that picture, and that was better than the one we had in our team room. So, you know, Katie and I talked about it. Hey, let's get that face on a poster, use our own face, mean face kind of game. You know, we've talked to the kids, hey, let's see your game face. We joke with them coming off the bus, and they give us a game face. Some of them just smile, but we give them a hard time then if they do that. But that's just a great picture of Marissa. I mean, that's intense. You know, she's, you know, back on a head trying to get the ball back. So some top program accomplishments. We've been able to go to our PSAC championship 5 out of the last 7 years, which is outstanding in our strong PSAC. We've had NCAA berth 7 years we've gone to the NCAAs, trying to get there on a more consistent basis. You know, we were there in 2001, 2010, 2011, 2015 we won it all. But we'd like to have 2003 and 7 and 8 and, you know, just be there a lot more. And we're working towards that. All conference players, we've had 114, we've had 75 All-Americans, we've had 13 to 14 scholar athletes. Katie, that might be a note we make. This year, believe it or not, with our success, we have 21 scholar athletes. So out of our 30 players, 21 of them are scholar athletes. That's phenomenal. Winning records, 26 out of 29, you know, the last 26 years. 2001, we played in the finals. There's our 2010, 2011, and then voila, we got it all this past year. Okay, so I was just sitting at home one time, 2013, thinking, or 2014, thinking, wow, we've really picked some things up as far as our goals scored, our defense, and all that stuff. So I started jotting some things down, you know, comparing the last 2 years. And it was pretty phenomenal what we saw. You know, we scored 53 goals. We increased it to 62 to 67. The big thing you can see is 60 goals. Our opponent scored on us in 2013. That's a lot of goals. You know, we scored 67, but our opponent scored 60. And then it went down in 2014 to 40 goals, and then went down to 17 goals. So we played 21 games this season, and we allowed 17 goals. We were either tops or second in goals against us average. We were right there in the top 3 for sure. What were the 2 things we led the nation in, Katie? I forget those. Maybe goals scored and...
Yeah, the differential and might be the goals scored, yeah.
Yeah, so the differential is how many goals were scored against us in relation to how many we scored. So we'll get NCAA plaques for that one of these days. But I don't even know if that's on, well, I think it is on here. Okay, but you can see our shots on goal, how they've improved, and then shots against us, how they've gone down quite a bit. That's awesome stuff. And then our corners have gone up quite a bit, and our opponents' goals have gone, or corners have gone down quite a bit. And that, again, that's phenomenal. You can see our record, 8-11 to 11-9 to 19-3, and 2 all-conference players, 5 all-conference players, 6 all-conference players, the conference MVP, had 1 All-American the last 2 years, should have had more, but this year we finally got a little bit more recognition, had 4 All-Americans, the Atlantic Region Player of the Year, the Coach of the Year, the National Coach of the Year, so really awesome accomplishments. We took home almost everything. We probably should have taken home the PSAC Coach of the Year, but somehow we missed out on that. I didn't get that, but that's okay. You don't want to take everything, but yeah, we do. So our shutouts, we always set goals with the team. We set it in 2013, I think we set a goal to have at least 4 or 5 shutouts and had none. But you know, when you allow that many goals, you're probably not going to have too many shutouts. In 2014, we had 5 shutouts. In 2015, we set a goal again to have 5 shutouts, but we were at 5, so we sit down every 2 or 3 weeks, look at our goals and reestablish those. So once we hit 5, we had reestablished that goal. And then you can see how we moved up as far as, PSACs, and then we were in the quarterfinals, we made the Final Four, hosted a game, hosted the Final Four and won the championship. So outstanding stuff. So you can see a good progression, and we want to keep progressing like that. That's the plan. And you got to put the work in to get that. Highlights of 2015. In 2015, we won the PSAC and NCAAs. You're going to hear that a couple more times. I know you heard it already. We tied our regular season. Well, we tied for the regular season title in the PSAC. We had a young lady, Allie, who broke the career goal record. We broke the school win record. It was 17 before, and so we got 2 more wins. We were 19-3. We hosted the conference championship. We also had the Elite 90 award winner. That was Sydney. She had the highest GPA at the championship. Out of the 4 teams, exercise science major, she had a 4.0. So we won that also. PSAC MVP, Atlantic Region Player of the Year, Coaching Staff of the Year. We won the 2 statistic champion. And Emily Howe made the PSAC top 10. There's 5 women, 5 men they pick in 17 or 18 conference schools that they're given awards for the top academic performance, top athletic performance. So Emily, I think, has like a 3.789 GPA, all conference MVP, All-American. So she was one of the 5 that got picked for that, which is an unbelievable award there. Some different things about ESU and our hockey program is we play a 2-3-2-3. We play with 2 screens, so that's 2 forwards, 3 middies, 2 screens, and 3 backs. Obviously a goalkeeper back there. We're one of the few Division II teams, or maybe the only D2 team, that does a subbing rotation, where we have our 11 starters, but then hopefully we have 6 or 7, 8 others that are coming off the sidelines that are getting playing time. You know, for instance, let's just talk about Allie Roth, the forward for us. You know, if she's out there 6 or 7 minutes, it's on the, you know, we know that she's coming off for 3 minutes and then coming back on. We can't expect a player to play 70 minutes all-out hockey, the kind of hockey that we want to play and be successful, you know, and not saving anything. They know they go all out, they go hard, they're going to get their breather, get some water, get some Gatorade, talk to a coach, relax, and then boom, they're back out there. So we can really come at our opponents and press them the whole game, double team them the whole game, go hard to goal, things like that. And I would, if I was an opposing coach, I don't know that I want to play a team like ESU the way we have our players playing. You know, we hope that it seems like there's 14 or 15 of us out there against maybe 8 or 9 of them. Just in the long run, that's how it feels, because we just keep coming at them. So you can see some things there. The backs were not subbing quite as much. We found we had some really unbelievable backs. You can tell that by the goals scored against us and stuff, and the shots against us. And it's a little bit like the goalie mentality, where you just don't sub your backs as much. You know, you have the offense, you have the high risk area, medium risk, low risk, no risk. So, you know, we want to keep playing more, and we had 1 or 2 good subs there, and they played as we needed them, but we didn't sub them quite as much. We've been doing a lot of man-to-man press. This year, we switched it to a zone press, and you can only play a good zone press if you can play a good man-to-man press. So we had a good couple years of man-to-man, and then boom, we switched it to zone, and next day we did our zone press. The next game, it was phenomenal. It was just a great change for us. But we're able to switch things around a little bit. We set individual goals with each player that comes in. We set goals. We spend more time with our freshmen. We also have team goals. We also have expectations. The first goal we want to set with our individuals and with our team is the GPA goal. And we did set a goal to have a GPA of 3.4. And during the season, I think we were like a 3.457. Katie has all the academic stuff. Overall, I think we have like a 3.39, something like that. So we are student athletes. We're just not athletes. We're just not students. We are student athletes, which is what D2 is all about. What are we known for as a team? We are athletes. We want to recruit athletes. We want possession. You probably heard us talking about that yesterday quite a bit. We really want to work on transition. We want to play great defense, dynamic attack. We had a player. We met with the new seniors after we had our wrap-up meeting. And we wanted to ask them what they thought were our strengths and weaknesses and things like that. And one of the things that came out were that, you know, some of the new seniors said, hey, let's put in a thing that if anyone, you know, we're playing out there and they lose the ball and they just stand around, that we do some kind of running or something like that. And so, you know, I think that's great when it comes from your players. You know, it's not Katie and I saying it, it's the players saying, hey, you know, Sandy, we got to put something in that. If a player loses the ball and gives up on it, someone's running, kind of thing. And we try not to use running as a punishment too much, but there's a time where, hey, let's use that and let's do that. And we even decided that, you know, let's say Susie, we don't have a Susie on the team, but let's say Susie turns the ball over and kind of pouts a little bit, doesn't get it back. Well, then Susie will come over with us, and then everyone else will get on the sideline and we'll do a little sprint. You know, that'll get Susie feeling bad and, you know, whatever. So we'll see if that's going to work for us. But I like the mentality that our kids have, that that's important to them, okay? So, you know, we're always on different websites, checking things out, looking at different things, trying to learn, you know, what can we do to make our program go ahead, you know, get to the next level. And I happened to be on Maryland's website one day. We're big Maryland fans. We're big USA Field Hockey fans for the women's team. But we saw that Missy had some cultures for her team. So I'm like, Katie, check this out. Let's get some cultures. So we have posters with our cultures on. And we talk about our cultures all the time. And we really played it with our cultures. Fast-paced game. That was a huge culture for us, angular hockey. And again, if you guys were at our scrimmage yesterday, you heard us talking about that. Quick restarts, turnover, we're taking off of the ball, turnover, we're getting back on defense, 6 down, ready to intercept the ball. 360 vision, that's so important. We watched this video of this, what was the guy's name, the soccer player, Katie? One of the big soccer players, but we watched like a 30-second clip of him, and 30 times in that 17-second clip, he was doing this kind of thing. Yeah, because you got to know what's going on with your surroundings. So 360 vision is huge for us. You don't know where to touch the ball, where to pass the ball, you know, where to get that first touch if you don't have vision. So we're all about that angular hockey, but you have to have that vision. And then be the driver of your own bus. We read The Energy Bus this summer. The whole team read The Energy Bus. Great book. You guys are going to be seniors. I would suggest maybe you guys, hey, coach, you know, maybe we read The Energy Bus. There's a lot of different things in that book that, you know, were important for us. Try not to touch those wires when I do that. Okay, so what are some extras we do with our program? We did have GoPro cameras in our off the end lines, and we still have those. I didn't even touch anything.
Ah, good.
And we still have those, and we'll put them in a goal cage, because the PSAC wants us to do east-west views, you know, the sideline view, but the athletes really learn more going north-south. So we do probably 90% of our video breakdown and things like that with our new end-line camera. So there's Robert hanging out with our new end-line camera. Cost us $4,500. But we were at a high school game and saw it. They use it for their football and field hockey. And I looked through the screen, and you can almost see the opposing goalkeeper, the other end-line goalie's color of our eyeballs. So we were like, we need this. So we'll still put the end-line cameras in, the GoPros, but now we watch this. And the end-line camera, the GoPros, you can only see so much. You know, it's more like a fishbowl kind of view. But this, you can see the whole field. It's awesome. So we kind of stepped it up. And you know, we watched Penn State-Maryland game on the way to a game. This year we were going to play Seton Hill, and boy, that was on our way, and we noticed that. They had one of these. So the Division I's are doing it. Good enough for D1's, good enough for us. But it's just a great teaching tool. Cost us a little bit of money, but it was awesome. We do a lot of highlight videos before games, inspirational videos throughout the season. You know, we throw that stuff in. We talked about the summer reading. Senior posters, we do posters for our seniors, put the schedule on that, give that to them, have all the players sign it, laminate it. Just some different cool things we do that I don't think a lot of teams do. We do have a player handbook, talks about our press, talks about our corners, you know, our outletting, our team rules. You put your goals and expectations. You name it, it's in there, and it's growing all the time. Practices, how do we do that? We run the clock at all the practices. We give a bracelet of the day. We do it in the fall, we give it to a student athlete one day, the first day, and then they give it out the next day. In the spring, we give it out all the time. We also have a saying of the day. Again, in the fall, pretty much I do the saying of the day. Something that's appropriate to what's going on. We just won a big game, we'll get a certain saying. We just lost a tough one, I'll have another saying. And there's tons of sayings, we just Google them. Now we're giving the players the saying of the day. I forget who has it today, but before we start our conditioning, if I remember, we'll get our player to give the saying of the day and talk a little bit about that. So it's cool stuff. We're always at forums. You know, the U.S. coach has been running forums the last 3-4 years. I've been to every single one. Katie wasn't able to go to this last one. She does a play locally, but Robert and I went to that. USA games. USA's been playing Argentina, South Africa, Ireland, Canada. I was at all 4 of those games. You know, they're just great learning opportunities, and the Nook is right in our backyard, so to speak. It really is in my parents' backyard. They live like a half an hour away, so I stop and see Mom and Dad, and then I get breakfast and a nice place to stay and go over and watch them. We're big on Instagram. Katie does all that. Community service, we do that stuff. Just yesterday, it was an MLK kind of day where they did a lot of projects, and our players were involved in sewing blankets for the homeless. We got a lot of pictures doing that. So we like to think we're more than just a hockey team at ESU. And you got to build that resume, you know, in your college days for sure. Okay, so just some different things about our program. We have tons of uniforms and bags and this and that. The school takes care of us pretty well, but we'll do extra fundraising and do whatever we need. We have the look good, feel good, play good mentality. You know, I think we could play good without this stuff, but you know, I like to give our players extras when we can. But we have, you know, white jerseys with red jerseys, black jerseys, white kilts, black kilts, red kilts. We even have Think Pink uniforms that we wear on Think Pink Day. So we're looking good out there. We can mix and match and change it up quite a bit. In our bags, we've got 6 pair of shorts. We just got brand new pennies. We've got some gloves, 2 sweatsuits. We have A6 rain jackets, camo shirts that we wear for pregame. We just got the kids headbands. They get new turf shoes every year. We're a Adidas sponsored program, which means, let's say Claire wants the new EXA 700 stick, which in the catalog costs probably $450. We can get it for $200. We pretty much supply everything except for your sticks. So we can really get great deals on sticks. And you'll notice that probably minimum 25 out of our 30 kids play with Dita sticks, okay? We have a turf field that we only share with lacrosse. You know, a lot of other programs have football, men and women soccer on the turf field. We just have field hockey and lacrosse on that turf field. In the fall, we have total priority. In the spring, lacrosse has priority. We work with them. We have a team room down there. It has a rubber floor. Everyone has a locker in there. We have a bin to put sticks in. If we practice Monday, practice at home Tuesday, you just throw your stick in the bin. Apple TV, the flat screen down there, closets, you name it, it's down there other than running water, but we're working on that. And we got the porta pots, but one of these years we're going to get some bathrooms down there. Beautiful weight room, you saw those. We're working on getting some more weight rooms, and the rec center. Have you guys? Okay, so some things about our preseason. Again, D2 is all about life and the balance. We're able to go 5 hours a day in the preseason. We're able to go 3 hours at a time. We pretty much go 2.5 in the morning, 2.5 in the evening. We're allowed 3 scrimmages in this time. And we do a mass mile. This is the only time during the entire season where we put the sticks down and ran. Other than that, it's time on the clock, stick and ball. You know, we're not the cross country or track team, we're the hockey team. We had outstanding stick work and ball control. Let's get better condition with our stick and ball. So we do all that stuff. You guys saw the early part of practice. We did shuttles for 10 minutes where they were just going across, you know, working on different things, working on 2 touches, tracking, pulls, reverse stuff, 3D stuff. You know, we could get on the line and do some running. Why not do it with stick and ball? Make a pass, get to the other end, and go with it. So we're all about that. So we do that. What times do we want you to run? We run anywhere from like a 5:50 to hopefully like a 6:40. Not to say we don't have athletes running higher times than that, but again, pressing the whole game, playing intense dynamic hockey. We really like to see our kids running 6:20 miles. That's important to us. We do, and a mass mile is start at one end line, go down and back 1, 2, 8 times. That's a mile, or pretty close to a mile. Obviously, you're losing some time when you're starting and stopping and turning, but it's a good test for us. Having said that, we do send ball control, conditioning, lifting packets out to everyone via email, and then with our freshmen, we send some more stuff to you with YouTube stuff on make sure you're lifting properly because we don't want to get in any trouble or cause any injuries. Okay, so we do all that stuff. All right, so here's a typical week. We've been coming back usually about that 16th. I think we come back the same time this coming year, or it maybe has changed a little bit. It's changed a little bit this coming year. But we're back, you know, have dinner, do some screenings, meeting, and then the next day we're going at it. So we usually go from 8:45 to 11:15, and then you can see that's a 2.5 hour practice, give our athletes 3 hours off, come back and go another 2.5 hours. So that's what we're able to do at Division II, and we pretty much follow that to a nutshell. During preseason, you don't have to give your student athletes off a day. During the regular part of season, when you're in classes, we need to give our student athletes off 1 day. Not a problem. Once in a while, they're lucky enough to get off 2 days. But you can kind of see our schedule there. We had a rafting trip down to Delaware that Friday. That was a lot of fun. We were in 8-person rafts. Happened to be a number of 33 that year, this past year, so I had a kayak to myself. That was awesome, so I enjoyed that. They were jumping off some ropes into the water. It was just a great, great day. But you can see some different things, we're doing. The freshmen had an academic tools for success program going. We had an alumni game. We played Ryder and beat them by 1 in Division I team. We played William Patterson. That score was 8 or 9 to 1. Beat them fairly easily. We usually have 3 games preseason, but this year we only had 1. We couldn't get another one. But we like to have 3 when we can. But we did play an alumni on that Sunday afternoon. And boy, that was a lot of fun, and we had a cookout with them too. And our alums are tough, and they're ready to go. They scored on us first, but I think we ended up beating them 4-2. They ran out of gas, and we kept getting stronger. And so that was a lot of fun. So that's our preseason. Okay, regular season. We're allowed 18 games during the year, so we're playing 18. We're allowed 20 hours a week at this time with practice, video, lifting. For the most part, we never got over 16 hours. So we're allowed 20. We never did 20. We weren't even close. We probably averaged 14, 15. All right, and again, won the PSAC National Championship. So we're doing some things right, and we don't have to go that 20. We talked about our strength and conditioning coordinator, Dr. Miltenberger, with his fine GAs, which Sammy's works for him and for us. We travel by charter bus, lease and coach buses. A lot of them now have plugs under your seat where you can just plug your iPhone or your laptop, whatever. They have TVs in. We'll do some study time. We'll throw some videos in, things like that. But this is a typical week. We like to give our kids off Sunday when we can, but that doesn't always happen. Columbus Day we didn't have classes, so we kept practice down to 4 to 6 so the players could enjoy a little bit more time off. Wednesday was their day off then. We were playing IUP, so after we practiced, quick showers, loaded up the bus and headed out to IUP, stayed overnight. And then, when we're away at a game, if we can, a long a trip, that was like 4.5 hours, we try to give them off Sunday when we can for sure. And since we didn't play shift to the 21st, it was easy for us to give them off on Sunday. So that's kind of 2 typical weeks with us. You see we had a home game and then 3 away games, which is always tough to play 3 away games in a row, but it was good. Hopefully we'll have 3 home games and 1 away game in a time span also. Okay, we're getting close to the end of mine, and then Katie will come in. So, spring, right now we're in our spring season. You saw one of these weeks. Now it's changed a little bit as far as times, but Monday, Wednesday, Friday we condition as a team. And like I said, this year we have Dr. Miltenberger and his staff working with them every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's awesome. So Katie and I are out there as needed, maybe coming back into the office, doing some things, but they're in charge and they're doing a great job with them. Tuesday and Thursdays we lift, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays we practice. So at this time we're allowed 8 hours during the week. We're doing 7. Okay. And then we start our next period, which is our non-traditional period, which we start right after we come back from spring break usually. And that's a 45-day window from start to finish. You have to finish 1 week prior to finals, which is outstanding. That's the way we should be doing it anyway. So in that 45-day window, you can practice or do something 24 times. And then you can also have 5 tournaments. So we'll have 19 practices and 5 tournaments. So that'll be our 24 in a 45-day window. During this time, we can go 20 hours a week, which again, we don't do that. And then we have to give our student athletes 2 days off a week. You can see this week, we gave our student athletes off 3 days. And at Easter weekend there, we're not doing anything Easter weekend. We are non-traditional, no reason for us to do anything Easter weekend. We want our kids to be with their family and stuff. So you can see practice, 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 and then we're at the Lehigh tournament. The tournaments that we've gotten in the past, or this year we're getting in we were going to get in the Lehigh tournament, but now they have a new coach that they're hiring. So we're gonna go down and play with Westchester and Millersville. So the top 3 teams in the nation in the Atlantic will be playing, and who knows who else is gonna come. We're also going to the Lower Dolphin Tournament. That's pretty much a Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference championship, all the PSAC schools, there are a lot of them. We're also going to Bucknell. It'll be Bucknell, Lock Haven, both Division I's, ourselves, and I think he's inviting one more. A lot of these, we play 7v7 in the morning and 11v11 in the afternoon. It varies. We're also playing Kutztown one evening. They're going to come to us and play us in an evening game, and we go to Kutztown the next year. They come to us. We're an hour and 20 minutes away from Kutztown. In Bloom, we played them in the past. We also have our own tournament at ESU. Katie has those dates. They're on the website, most of them. So if any of you guys want to come watch us play in any of those, or meet us down at Westchester, you're more than welcome to come. At our tournament, we have 6 or 7 teams signed up for our tournament. All right, so we're excited about all of that. Okay. All right, what are we looking for in players? I mean, look at that. That tells you sometimes what we're looking for. That's dynamic. That's athletic. She's coming off the back foot. That's kind of what we're looking for. Check out the deltoids there. I mean, that's what we're looking for. Athletes that want to get it done, that have a passion for the game. Athletic, dynamic, special skills. Can you throw the ball? But what can you do? But the game's going 360. Reverses are where the games are going. Our left back, Emily, who now might play center back, could come up the sideline. Our left midi could, and just hit it hard on the reverse. You see a goal or two are scoring where we're scoring reverse. We set a goal, I think, to score 5 on the reverse. Probably scored quite a few more. One time Beck, our left midi, came down and reverse, hit it right across. Desi gets it, pull, goalie's still there, another pull, and we score. You'll see that on the highlight video. So those special skills, we got to be able to do. 3D is so important now. Are you playing in any showcases? We want to go watch you. The President's Day showcase.
Yeah, I'm going.
Okay, you're going also, Claire?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going.
Okay. Yeah, we've seen a lot of you guys. But if you're going again, we will make sure we know that. We go to College Connection, we go to Lanco Limelight, Super 60, a lot of stuff we're going. So if you're playing in any of that stuff, let us know. I was originally going to go to the President's Day showcase by myself because there were 25 kids, but now we're up over 60. So like Katie, so yesterday we made flight arrangements. She's coming down also. But it's important for us to get there and watch student athletes and evaluate them and see, they can play for us. We have a lot of camps, clinics, tournaments. You guys have been on our website, hopefully. You can see what we have coming up. Encourage you to come to some of those as needed, and we're going to talk with you individually. Highlight videos, if you have those, send those to us. That's a great way for us to evaluate you. All 4 of you guys in here we know pretty well. So a lot of times this talk is given to people who haven't sent us a lot of stuff. So we need to see more, but we know all 4 of you well. So you guys don't really need to do as much of this. If we see a highlight video, we really like what we see. We want to see you play. I'm not sure if we're going to get down to Virginia, but we do our best to get to Virginia if we could play, if you like us a lot, We do have tryouts, we do have cuts. Some players get real nervous. If we're giving you money and recruiting you, you're not a player that should be cut for us. We recruit you, give you some money, you come back with 30 extra pounds on you, cobwebs on your stick. Katie tells you get your stick down and you do the old eye roll. I ask you to do something, you do the old eye roll. We're going to part ways pretty quickly. But if you work hard, come back in shape, you play a lot during the summer, you're going to do well for us, okay? So don't be worried. The last recruit came in and she goes, am I going to get cut? I'm like, no, you're not going to get cut. No, you're a kid we're looking at, we like. So I just want to throw that out. Roster size and gender equity. We're a school that has a lot more women enrolled than men, like most institutions do now. So our athletic rosters should be showing that. And it's an NCAA rule that you need to. Roster management. Now, we did not get in trouble as a PSAC school, but probably 8 or 9 of our sister institutions did. Because they may be carrying 22 on their roster, and then their football team has 120. So that's why we point that out to gender equity. We carry a couple more kids than a lot of schools, but again, we were a school that didn't get into trouble with that. Okay, so let's talk about redshirt. What is a redshirt? We redshirted 2 or 3 players this past fall season. Why do we redshirt a kid? We redshirt a player that maybe isn't quite ready to play for us. Maybe her touches on the ball aren't as good, okay? Maybe she's playing 3 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 5 minutes here, 8 minutes there. So now you play limited, and now you've used a year of your eligibility. And a lot of our players, when they're freshmen, they want to play right away, that instant gratification. When they're seniors and maybe don't graduate for 4.5 years, they would give anything to have been a redshirt. So we try to look at that. Now we did make 2 kids redshirt because they just weren't playing for us. One was out of shape, didn't come back as fit as she needed to. Another one, just the stick skills weren't there. We think they both can play for us, but we redshirt them. Now the good news is they can play in the spring and not lose a year of eligibility. So now they both have another year. You ask a lot of our kids, even Lindsay, who played a lot of hockey, great starter for us her senior year, played a lot her junior year, didn't play at all her freshman year, didn't redshirt her. Now she's here another semester, wouldn't give anything to have redshirted. So redshirt is not always a bad thing. Okay, it can be a good thing. Now we did redshirt another young lady, and she redshirted herself. It's a great redshirt. The young lady can be a future all-conference, all-American player for us. She had a 4.0. She's going to be an awesome redshirt for us. She should be starting for us or getting into rotation. She would have got some limited playing time, especially towards the end of the season when she really was picking things up. And a lot of times the freshmen have such a transition coming from high school to college. It's a different game we play. You guys notice that in the scrimmage. So sometimes it takes them 2-3 weeks to maybe a redshirt's a good thing. But it's not necessarily always a bad thing. I know it's done a lot, D1, basketball, football kind of thing. So we do a little bit, it's limited, but we'll talk to you, a little bit individually as to what where we see you, okay? So don't let that scare you, a redshirt is bad. You see more and more, teams that are doing that, because I see, junior redshirt so-and-so, so they're redshirting also. Okay, scholarship money. First off, it's based on NCAA eligibility and athletic ability for sure. Can you play for us? Can you be successful as a student athlete? We're given anywhere from $500 to a few thousand. They just increased our scholarship money, which is awesome. But we're carrying 28, 29, 30 kids. So, you divide that by, I think on our program, I think 25 of our players are getting some kind of money. So that's pretty phenomenal. There's just maybe 3 or 4 that aren't. Okay. I'll skip down to the increase or decrease. I maybe decreased 2 or 3 players' money in the last 25 years. Okay, when I first got here, we really weren't given money. I probably increased scholarships probably 40 or 50 times. So we increase a lot more than we decrease. Okay, for sure. It's not even, you can't even compare it. We try to help our players that are out of state a little bit more. Only because our in-staters are paying 17, 18, our out-of-staters are paying about 21, 22, or 24, 25, depending on what scholarship they are able to get now that we have those new scholarships. You guys know all about the scholarships, right? We have the out-of-state tuition or the student first new tuition. Okay, so student first, 3.0 or higher, you're getting that one. Okay? And then everyone, as long as they're admitted, will get the out-of-state tuition. Okay. More information's coming on that. esu.edu/OOS. You can find that information. We just got that information sent to us about 2 weeks ago, so we're kind of new in the system too. But it's going to be awesome for us, and it's allocated to international students also. Okay, a lot of our players are on work study. They work 8-10 hours a week or more, and they get minimum, maybe a little bit more. Nice spending money. You can make close to $2,000 during the year if you want to do that. A lot of our players are doing that. Some are working for Greg or SID. They're working in the dorms where they just check ID cards and then they get back and hit the books. If they're in the weight room, they're in the rec center, they're working for me, they're working for our athletic director, whatever. They're all over the place. So if you want to do that, because you can definitely budget your time in the D2, life in the balance, and make a little bit extra money for yourself. Okay. We talked about, can scholarship players get cut? Rarely, but they can. And again, it would be I've taken 2 kids' scholarships totally away, and again, in 32 years. And I also offered to give them their money back if they got their act together, in which we will help them do that. So that's really a minor thing that would happen. But we have rules and we need to follow them, and we're all about second chances. So it's our job, our role to help them. Early signing is in November. We signed 9 kids 2 years ago for early signing. This past year we signed 7. So you guys, for the most part, unlike your counterpart males, the guys wait forever to make their decision. Quite a bit, we're finding. You know, our soccer guy tells us that all the time. The guys wait to the last minute to make their decision. The women are making their decision pretty quickly. So, you know, we like all 4 of you to make decisions as soon as you can. That helps us out. You know, we're pretty much done with our 2016 class, even though I told you we're looking at some internationals. We're trying to wrap up our 2017 class as soon as we can, and then we'll move on to the 2018 class, who we can't talk to until June 15th, but we still can watch them a lot. And I'm sure you guys want to make decisions pretty quickly too. It's nice to go into your senior year knowing where you're going, you don't have that stress, you know, whatever, and you made your decision. Okay, so we talked about that and academic monies. If you want to get some of our top academic awards, and I know the SAT test is changing a little bit, but in the past it's been math verbal combined score of a 1200, like a 3.4, 3.5. We probably get you a meal waiver and different things. Okay, there are a lot of you guys that are getting 1100s, so it's limited as to what we can do. But once you hit that 1200 threshold with over a 3.5, there's some other academic monies that we can get you. And then there's other scholarships that pop up that I get stuff. I just send it right to the players. You know, there's an AFSCO scholarship that just came out last week. I sent that information to our student athletes. Hopefully a lot of them are applying for it. You know, maybe you need to have at least 30-some credits. You need to have a 3.0 and some other certain criteria. I send that right out to the players. Okay. There are a lot of scholarships you can get, but sometimes you got to get behind a computer and do some work on that. Okay, but we'll help you out for sure. All right, let's see if I have anything else. Oh yeah, I do. I see that. And then you're up, Katie. Get ready.
All right.
Okay. All right, so coaching style philosophy. We're big on constructive criticism. You know, we're not going to say, Danny, what the heck are you doing out there? Let's get a clue. That's just not the way we coach. Hey, Danny, let's go. Shorten up that backswing. Let's make sure we're off angle, supporting your teammate. You know, let's do this, let's do that kind of thing. Okay? That's the way we coach. We're not Bobby Knight. If you want a Bobby Knight coach, we are not your coach. You guys even know who Bobby Knight is? He was the Indiana men's basketball coach. He was throwing chairs and yelling. He's just a crazy guy. Google him if you have a chance. He's just a crazy guy. But he had a really successful program, but a little crazy. We're not yellers. We're going to give positive feedback. We're going to talk to you, do some one-on-ones. Hello, ladies. We're going to try to outwork other coaches, whether it be with recruiting, going to showcases, you know, getting on, doing some videos, going to the forums, going to the USA International games. We're going to be there. And it's rare a lot of times that we see, you know, other opponent, you know, the coaches or opposing coaches are out as much as we are. Always learning. The hockey is always changing. If I coached it the way I did 30 years ago, we'd be in big trouble. Because 30 years ago, they were teaching the left-hand lunge. You know, get it back here and go in here. We don't want to see that. Mel Hanna, you know, it's like stick us down here. Yeah, it's changed so much. So you got to change with that. Okay. Always have an open door policy. We like to think we're more than hockey coaches. I know there are a lot of PSAC or some PSAC schools where that coach is your hockey coach. You're probably not going in there and just sitting down and hanging out and talking too much. But again, that's the homework you need to do to find out, you know, what's going on there. We have a work hard, have fun mentality, and we talked about before conditioning with stick and ball. That's what we're all about. You know, since we are not the track team. That was a game there 2 years ago where we beat Bloom in overtime, and the kids were like dog piling, so then I was. Hannah, can you do that little move there for us again there? And Mel had a good one, that other video where they were throwing water on me. Then you see Morgan like splashing me with the water bottle too. But it's a good time. We have a lot of fun, but we work hard. Katie, I think you're up.
Yes. Some things about academics. So the parents, their top 2 concerns seem to be, what are the academics like,
and how much is it gonna cost? So I'll cover a little bit about those, and then what you guys care about, we'll talk about that too. So we really have this mentality, it's family first, and then school, and then field hockey, and we stick to that. Mel, I always use her as an example for this, she doesn't know it, but I tell all the recruits, Mel had a wedding this past fall with her sister. It was the same day that we played Seton Hill. So sorry for Mel, she didn't join us, she went to go be with her family, and we understand that. Do we like it, are we crazy about it? No, but we understand that it's your sister's wedding, and you know, that's just one example of how we do that with family first. School first, an example of that would be, let's say Marissa this spring, she's doing an internship. That internship, she can't be with us Monday, Wednesday, Friday for any of our activities because she's at her internship, and we understand that, that's something she has to do. So we stick to that. It's not 1, 2, 3, you know, field hockey's the close third on that, but you know, we're all about that, for sure. Sandy said before about our team GPA, it was a 3.45 this past fall semester. We are so proud of that. You know, to have our girls win the national championship and get that GPA was just outstanding. And it's cool because everywhere we go on campus, we're always bragging about our players, that how well they did in the classroom. And the culture's there for them. They care about the academics. Then this was a couple years ago. I had a player who said that she's tutoring someone on the team. She's going to meet with her in the library. And then she joked with me and said, yeah, because she's going to bring down her team GPA. Now, it was a little sassy, and I think she was being funny, but you can see a little bit about the culture that she actually genuinely cares about the team GPA. It's something that they work hard for. And it's nice as you're coming to a team that, right, girls, that they are, they're not paying attention. That, you know, that they're into that. You know, they're into their academics. We have in our handbook, sit in the front of the class. Not all of them listen, I don't know. But, you know, we tell them, sit in front of the class, pay attention, get to know your professors. All that kind of stuff is important. The culture's good. I said that. There's some coaches, even on this campus, that I've known that show up at 8 a.m. to make sure that Mel and Hannah are in their, I don't know, anatomy lab, you know, or whatever it is. We don't have to do that, thankfully, because we know that the culture and the team is there, and it is good. Our overall GPA was a 3.37. So again, it's just, you can see that. And our freshmen actually led the way this fall, which is great, because usually it's the freshmen that come in the adjustment period and they struggle a little bit more. And the fact that they led the way is also what made our GPA so strong. We do a number of things to monitor our athletes. At the beginning of the season, we have our meetings. The first thing we talk about is academics. We want to know, what's your GPA goal going to be? What are your grades looking like? How did you do last semester? We talk about all that stuff. Halfway through the semester, we will check your midterm grades, then obviously follow up with your grades at the end of the semester. We have an open door policy. Because of that, we hear a lot. You know, we know if so-and-so is not going to class, or somebody's struggling, or, you know, a professor could even talk to us about something, you know, and if that's the case, we'll pull you in the office or talk to you after practice or something like that about your grades, so you can find out how we can get you the help that you need. There's mandatory study hall. It used to be an hour and 45 minutes twice a week for all freshmen, where you go with a coach, let's say Monday and Wednesday for that hour and 45 minutes. They've changed it, and it's worked wondrously. You now have your swipe card. You get your ESU ID, and you go to the library and you swipe in, and then you swipe out. At the end of 2 weeks, Sandy gets the log to make sure that you get in your hours that you're supposed to. I was a little, we wondered if it was going to work. You know, what's going to be like, because the coach isn't there, like, physically watching the, you know, our players, if they're, how they're doing, if they're goofing off, if they're on Facebook instead. And you can see that they led the way with their GPA. So, you know, we're thinking it's going to be a really good thing. You know, especially since, for me, if I had to study with all you guys in the room, I'd be so distracted, and I'd be distracting you. Okay? So it's, I think that that's also, and they're back there like nodding their head. They're like, yes, it's true. You know, and then you also can study on your own time, on your own terms, what's best for you, when you need to work, and all that. So, let's see if there's anything else. Yeah, so I mentioned the study hall. It's an hour and 45 minutes, but it's twice a week, so whatever that comes out to. And then, when you're an upperclassman, if you have above a 2.75 GPA, you don't need to do the mandatory study halls. And then in the spring, we just look at the spring grades, and if there's someone struggling, well, usually if it's below a 2.6, we make it mandatory for you as well to log the study hall hours. Right now we don't have anyone that needs to do that. We have a number of things on the ESU side, in the ESU side for support. We have a great tutoring and learning center. I know I jumped down, but the tutoring, you can sign up to get an individual tutor. You can actually apply to be a tutor too if you'd like. I don't know how that works, if you have to be an upperclassman or what, but you can apply to be a tutor as an on-campus job. But you can sign up and it's no cost to you, and I'll spend an hour with you a week or whatever it is and do that. You can do a small group tutoring, or you can just go to their drop-in labs. They're really good about that. What I find, I don't know if you guys have used tutors at all, but what I find a lot of times too is the girls that are strongest academically, they're the ones that are signing up for the tutors. I don't really understand that, why it's the ones that maybe need them, right? We also have an athletic academic coordinator, Dr. Greenawalt. She is phenomenal, okay? She's in charge of all the student athletes and their academics, and that is her job, full time. It's very rare to have someone at this position in D2, and we're fortunate to have her. If there's any conflicts, let's say one of these ladies gets a concussion and needs an extension on schoolwork, she would be the person that would send the email to the professors and ask about that. Let's say you're having a hard time switching majors or adding or dropping classes. She's a great go-to. We've had 2 girls in the past 4 years study abroad. There's been some issues with them transferring of credits because of studying abroad in Australia. So she's been the big person to go and push for that. She's wonderful. If you ever need any help, she was one of the first people that I met on campus, and she helped me get out of a swimming class. I did not want to go swimming. I don't know if I told you that. I was like signing up for aquatics, and I was like, no, not my thing. She got me into soccer, and I was really excited. And so, yeah, she's great. And then they have other programs that are offered through the university. This is only just a small handful of things. We do have an honors program that you can get into. There's also, you can get the special help that you need. Let's say that you have some ADD, ADHD, or you need extension on tests, that kind of thing. They have that. There's also a STAR mentoring program. You can sign in to be a mentor, or to get mentored, and there's a number of different programs that are offered. So, I put down here, meet with the academic chair, which I believe all of you have done, but just to say, I always advise that once you've really checked out ESU, you want to make sure that you've at least done this so you can find out about the academics, what is biology? Tell me the ins and outs of the biology program, that kind of thing. And then make sure you register with the clearinghouse. I believe all of you have done that. I don't know if you've done that or not, but you want to make sure you register with the clearinghouse. If you want to play Division I or Division II sports, you have to have the clearinghouse to be registered with that. And then make sure you're just always in touch with your guidance counselor, that you're having the classes and the coursework that you need as well. So, all right, I'm almost done. There's really not much more. Okay, a few things about the university. You guys have hopefully had a chance to see our new suites and new dorms. They're awesome. This is one of the things that the players want to know. What are the facilities like? That's always big. The new dorms are a big seller. I'm excited about them. They cost a little bit more. You can see here, the new suites are on average about $4,000 more than the older residence halls. But for you guys, a lot of you seem to, I know they just like it so much better. Between this bedroom and this bedroom, there's only one in that room, and then the bathroom is right through here, and that's the two of you share that one space. It's awesome. So, top it says 7,000 students. It's approximately what we're at here. Because I'd gone here, and what I liked about it is that I could go from one side of campus to the other and see a bunch of faces that I know and a bunch of faces that I don't know. And I liked that feel. I liked the feel that the classroom size is 32. In the beginning, you go to some lectures, and I don't know what the classes were like today that you sat in on, but maybe a lecture gets to be 100 or so, something like that. But as you go along in your major, the class sizes drop dramatically. By the time I was a senior here, I had some classes that maybe only had 10 or 15. The lab sizes are small. You get to know the professors and know who they are, and you're not just another number. So, 59 degree programs. What's attractive about that is you are 16, 17 years old maybe, and you think you know what you want to do with your life, or you probably have no idea, right? You come here and there's enough majors that there's not just 6 majors to choose from, and that if I want to change my major, and now I have to change universities. That there is a good amount of majors. 59 is definitely a larger amount. So, and now just the tuition down here, another thing that parents care most about. So in-state is about 17,000 or so, and now they just changed the out-of-state tuition, which is just, it's awesome. You can see it'll probably be approximately guaranteed about $25,000 a year for out-of-state. If you have above the 3.0, that's going to drop to the 21.5, approximately. Again, we're still waiting for some numbers and whatnot that's out there. And you can, it formerly was 28,000, so you can see that it's dropped quite a bit. This scholarship, what's now called the Student First, that is the 21,500, that used to be called the ACE Scholarship, and you used to have to get the 1100 SAT score. You don't need that SAT score anymore, you just need a 3.0 GPA. So they've also made the requirement for the Student First easier to get as well. So, and then again, the website's on there, esu.edu/OOS. So, and then, Hannah doesn't know this. There you are, Hannah. You're lucky I can't, it's not a smart board and I can just watch, we can just watch what she does. But students, you guys, so parents want to know about the academics and how much it costs, and you guys always want to know, is the team close? I always encourage everyone to follow us on ESU Field Hockey, just because you get that inside look. You come, some of you have done the overnight, you get to hang out with the team, you go to lunch, you talk to them, and you find that out. They're like, so this one at Hannah, slow motion, she's sucking up a noodle from our spaghetti bun. It's a yes. It's pretty funny. So
I'm gonna try to get a job one day, and that's
yeah. They're gonna say yes, I want to hire her. So okay, we're gonna watch the highlight video next, and then that wraps it up.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Man, that was
Great
some
work.
really good stick work
That was-
inside the circle.
It was great stick work, and coaches love to see that. You know, that was just sheer determination. Knew she had an open cage there and just needed to be very controlled with her shot.
We're 1,000 miles from comfort.
And great stick work there by East Stroudsburg, just pulling that ball, got the goalie to make a move and put it right behind her.
Boy, the Warriors seemed intent from right when we got going to set the tone early. It's just a beautiful move to get past the defender, and then once she
Up
saw
and
the
over.
keeper come out, she had to have some
Yeah.
big eyeballs, recognizing there was a lot of room to work.
East Stroudsburg looks like they can transition very quickly from offense to defense and defense to offense.
And well done on back-to-back plays there in midfield. In the circle, Stroudsburg back with it. The keeper is out.
Yep.
The shot is in.
Yeah. Any of those free balls, their first step is so quick. They're still just hustling.
Indeed, and boy, they seem on a mission coming out of this. Mark looks very, very
She looks
focused.
there. Just look at her right here. Again, that was just a line of 5 East Stroudsburg players across the midfield, so I'm not surprised they came up. It is. East Stroudsburg just is relentless with their pressure. They have great defensive pressure, great
East
offensive
Stroudsburg.
pressure.
With the pedal to the floor from the get-go, and they've kept it there.
They have, and that's impressive. There's been no letdown whatsoever.
East
They're still
Stroudsburg, the
hustling.
consensus top team in the coaches poll, coming in, flexing their muscle, deflecting it out. She's going to have to come up big again, and
there we
can't
go.
stop that one. It's in the back of the net, and East Stroudsburg very early on in the second semifinal has a 1-0 lead. That's East Stroudsburg looking for a second, and they got it.
They got it.
Great passing inside the circle, and the Warriors have doubled their lead. Defender missing, slid in, takes a deflection,
There it
and they
goes.
find another goal. The Warriors flying high, and Stroudsburg finds their 5th goal. And they're well on their way now.
If I were Coach Miller, I'd just be thrilled and confident, yet still think that it's only one for them.
East Parks trying to cover it. A whistle, and this is going to be a foul.
That'll be a penalty, Stroud.
Will be Roth who will step up and take it, it looks like. Roth looking for career goal number 74. None bigger than this one. Davis trying to keep Merrimack alive. Roth steps up. Roth with the goal. And East Stroudsburg, the 2015 Division II Field Hockey National Champions. A well-taken stroke by Roth, the senior leader for this East Stroudsburg Warrior team. And in her 32nd season, Sandy Miller, career number 376, but her very first